Coming up on the pod today, I talk about the Netflix is a Joke Festival show, as well as other updates from my week in comedy. And also, I have a big life update about something Kaylee and I are doing together. So stay tuned for that at the end. First, I'm going to do some tour dates. The day you're watching this, tomorrow, I'm going to be in Portland for 2 shows, one Friday, one Saturday. Come out. Tell your friends who live in Portland to come out. It's a great club. Can't wait for those shows. And then I'm going to be in Seattle May 31st to June 1st at Laughs Comedy Club for 4 shows. Love that club. It fucking rocks. So come to those shows. Then I'm doing the Brea Improv June 6th, San Antonio June 20th, and Austin, Texas, a weekend at the Creek in the Cave June 21st to the 22nd. And then Panama City, Florida, June 28th to the 29th. And my birthday is June 30th. I'll be flying across the country back home on my birthday. That's going to suck, but the shows won't. So come to those. Let's start the podcast. Okay. Stuffy McGee checking in. Sorry for the late pod. I've been sick. And I didn't want to do a pod yesterday because I could barely breathe out of my nose. And now I'm breathing not too bad. Feeling surprisingly better. Your boy rebounded pretty quickly. And it was here's the thing. Kaylee got sick, which means I'm getting sick. That's how it works. If your wife or your husband, your boyfriend, whatever the fuck, whoever it is in your life, if they get sick, hey, get ready. You're getting sick. There's no way to avoid it. I tried to avoid it. I didn't see her for like a day and a half while she was going through it. Didn't matter. Still got sick. So basically, anytime that your person gets sick, just strap in, get some NyQuil, get some tissues, because you're getting sick. But it's all good. I said that the sickness actually timed out perfectly because I got sick on I think it was like Monday, Tuesday I started to feel it. And I had this whole week to kind of chill before I leave for Portland tomorrow. And I'm recording this the day you're seeing this if you're watching it on Thursday. So it was great. It was like I did the Netflix show. We did this big thing that I'm going to talk about later. And then I got sick. So the timing honestly worked out well. It was totally fine. And feeling better. So just a cold is what it is. You know the vibes. Sore throat, runny nose is what it is. But I've been relaxing. It's been, I kind of got everything I need to get done. And, dude, let's talk about the Netflix show, man. If you were there, thank you for being a part of it. Again, that show was the one that sold out in like 3 hours. It was crazy and warmed my sweet, sweet heart. It's, it's funny. It's, I feel like not a lot of people really understood, including I think my dad kept asking, he was like, what is it exactly? Because it's confusing. It's like, is this going to be on Netflix? Is this filmed? Is this a special? Is this live streamed? What is it? And it's just another show. And this festival is taking over LA. You know, they have shows so many shows every night for 2 weeks straight. I mean, I'm talking 15 shows a night. It's pretty crazy, including we go all the way up to the Hollywood Bowl with Seinfeld, Gaffigan, Bargatze, Sebastian, right? And then all the way down to random little hole-in-the-wall venues that seat 50 people and maybe headliners you don't necessarily know yet. So, but again, to me, it was just another show. And, we knew we wanted to do a big LA show for the tour. And it was kind of let's try to get in the festival. And we did. And so, in terms of how meaningful it was very meaningful, especially just for the credit, meaning that when a club puts my show on sale, they can be like, oh, he was seen in the Netflix is a Joke Festival. That matters. You could probably sell more tickets because of that credit, right? For example, it's you've seen this guy on The Tonight Show. You've seen this guy on Conan. That helps clubs not only say yes to you, but also could be an easier sell for people to come see you. So optically, it's a great look for me. And I don't have any credits. I've never had any credits. I've never been on a thing. That's why this whole journey and all the Just Us tour and all that stuff was so meaningful, because I've never been on a thing. It's just from clips, which is amazing. And it's amazing that that's even possible nowadays. So it was meaningful for that reason. And I think it was just some people were just doing 10-minute spots in the festival, but I had my own show in the festival. So that really meant a lot to me. Things I was hoping for going into it, number one, I wanted to just have a successful show. Number one, first and foremost, just another one that I feel really good about. Number two, maybe some sort of industry people would be there. Who knows, right? I don't know who's in the audience. I assume it's all of my fans, but bro, this business is a you never know business. So I don't know who could be there. So I'm going to bring my A game no matter what, which I always do. Number three, I really wanted to... Now, the show is at a club called the Hollywood Improv, which is one of the big three in LA. It's the Comedy Store, Laugh Factory, Hollywood Improv. And the woman who runs it and books it, her name is Rita. She's very cool, old school Italian lady. She's awesome, so nice. She knows me a little bit throughout the years of performing there, but not super well. I'm not past there, meaning, put in my availability for spots there, as I do in clubs like Comedy and Magic and Flappers, right? Places that I go to all the time. I'm not past there, right? And so I really hoped that I would have some sort of conversation with her. Meaning, best case scenario, it'd be, hey, you're killing it. Start putting in your avails. Let's get you in this club, right? Worst case, at least just, hey, I know you. Congrats on the sellout show. Goodbye, right? So that's what I'd hoped for. And it's funny, man, when the show finally hit, I almost forgot. I kept forgetting about this show just because I was so wrapped up in the tour itself. And I did the LA show already at Flappers, and that was done. And I just kept forgetting that I had to do a whole nother LA show. Granted, it was a smaller room. Flappers was 200. The Hollywood Improv Lab, it's the smaller room. It seats 50 or 55. So it's a feels a little less, whoa, But I kept forgetting about it. And so the day of the show, I was like, oh man, I forgot that I don't love this feeling of being in town doing a headlining show. Just for, I don't know what it is. It's so hard to explain, and I feel like I don't explain it well enough, but it's just this weird feeling of I like being on the road headlining shows because I'm in this rhythm of, I'm in like work mode. That's what it is. I'm in work mode. And when I'm home, I'm in like home mode. And I don't know how else to explain it. It's just this rhythm. It's just this energy that I have that it's just weird to end up doing this big show. And going into it, I wanted to figure out. I've been trying to figure out merch. The merch I'm gonna do for the rest of the tour is tour posters, which I did last year. Tour posters are the best idea. They have the best margins in terms of sales, and also they're so easy to travel with. T-shirts are so hard. They take up your whole suitcase. I have to pack like a T-shirt, a hoodie, and a shoe, and I'm wearing all of them. My bag's just basically merch and a toothbrush. So posters are the move, and I wanted to make custom posters for the show, and I made these posters, and I knew I should have brought them over to show you guys, but it's basically just it's the Netflix flyer logo that I did, and I signed it, and so I made 20 of them. Dude, shout out to I went to FedEx to get these printed, and the guy at FedEx was deaf, and we had the whole transaction through through writing. It was kind of awesome. At first, when he was starting to sign or not say anything, I was like, oh, dude, I was already like, oh, this is gonna be so difficult. How do I explain what I want? And dude, we made it happen. It felt like it was yeah, dude. It was like we were that's being a human. Was just communicating via just no words. It was. I've never experienced that before. I thought it was really cool, and it felt very fulfilling to have this conversation with a deaf person. I don't talk to a lot of deaf people. Well, I don't talk to any of them because they can't hear me. But I don't have a lot of interactions with deaf people. But I thought that was really interesting. It was very cool. Made the posters, and I'll just cut right to the point. It was such a bummer, dude. I barely sold any of them. I made 20 of them. I sold 4 of them. Messed up the ratio. I thought that since they were one of these are only for you guys, people don't really care that much. Merch is so hard to figure out, man. So I don't know what to do with them. I'm what I did with the extra tour posters from last year is I actually put them on sale and everyone bought them. So comment on the video, by the way, after you subscribe, if you would maybe buy one of these Netflix posters that I signed, because I don't know what to do with them. So let me know. So the show itself, something interesting happened. Oh, Jesus, you know what that sentence was trying to be. It's sold out in 3 hours, right? And I get an email on Monday. The show's Friday. I get an email Monday from my agency, and they're like, hey, do you want the club to release the 10 comped tickets, meaning the 10 like free tickets for like friends and family or industry? And I was like, there's 10 more tickets available? Yeah, release them. And to me, I was almost like, dude, I never wanted that in the first place. We should have just put all 65 tickets on sale the day of, right? The 3 hours thing. And so it felt kind of weird to be like, all right, here's 10 more. But luckily, I put that up. They were gone in a day. 10 more. Resold out, baby. It was sick. And then the day of the show, I check the website, and there's more tickets available. And no one said anything to me. I was like, hey, why is this not sold out anymore? What's happening? And it looked like there was like 4 more tickets available. I was like, dude, what keeps happening? So I do like another Instagram post. Hey, more tickets. We got more now. It's sold out, but it's not anymore. And then it was sold out, but it's still not. So now it's more tickets not sold out. It's like so confusing. And so then those tickets got bought. And that's all legit. I sold 72 tickets. I don't know what was going on or how they were going to fit 72 people in a room that seats 55. And that's a small room. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm killing it. Ha. I get to the club. Quick setup because the room is very small. And again, the room is called The Lab. It's the Hollywood Improv Lab. And this is a notoriously difficult room. It is known as being Bomb City. And I hope I don't get flagged on YouTube for saying that sentence. People, like, I've heard, dude, this happened, my buddy Anthony, who opens for me, he did an opening set at The Lab, and the host said, and I quote, Joe Rogan says this is the hardest room in comedy. Let's prove him wrong tonight. Please welcome Anthony Sturriddy. Right? So this is a known difficult room. Personally, I've had some great sets here. I've had some terrible sets early on in my career when they would do this open mic showcase thing in that room in front of the booker, Rita. Bombed my ass off. Had some bad sets there. I had a set there one time where I did so bad that I went into the parking lot and like had to question things a little bit. But the last few times I've been there, I've had awesome sets. That was where the Chainsmokers set was, where I did in front of them. Same room. Like, I really enjoyed this room. So we go to the green room, and it's me, Kaylee, and then my openers, both my friends, Nolan and Anthony, both were there opening the show because it was a special moment, so I wanted to have both of them. And sure enough, there's Rita, and the conversation happens. And she basically was like, you know, because I never know what the awareness she has of me. When like a big time booker, you just don't totally know what, as I spit all over my laptop, you don't really know, you know, you don't really get many interactions with them because it's like, dude, the job of being a comedy booker sucks. It's like everyone hates you, you know, everyone's asking you for spots, everyone's bothering you. It's such a difficult position. It's all political and people, it's like you can't win. And if you're booking people, then they love you. And if you're not, they hate you. It's brutal. And so I never knew what her awareness of me was. And so she saw me and she was just like, hey, you're crushing it. It's like, you're killing it. And she pulled up her phone to see the ticket sales. And she was like, yeah, no comps. You sold all of them. I mean, you crushed it. And she was like, I'm so proud of you. Whoa. And she was like, you know, it's really hard for me to, you know, see people a lot because I'm, you know, there's so many different comedians. I'm always running around and it's really hard for me too. But, you know, I pay attention. I notice. I pop in here and there to shows. And she was like, you're really killing it right now. I'm so proud of you. So that was the interaction. And I felt awesome about it. Kaylee was sitting next to me and I knew we know each other so well. She knew that was really awesome. She was just like, you know, we both like non-verbally were like, yes. But there was no the next, you know, hey, start hitting me up for spots. None of that. So I'd say I'd give that like I mean, it was so sweet and meant so much to me. But then I also wanted to still find my way to that club. So it's really a thing of you're just chipping away at this shit, man. I've been in LA for like 9 years, right? And I'm still just chipping away. And I'll keep chipping. Call me Chipper Jones. I'll keep chipping, dude. Overall, the show was great. Show was awesome, man. It really was fun. I wouldn't say it was like electric, but there were some really big moments. The crowd was just awesome, man. They were just really nice, cool people who were stoked to be there. Again, the lab, it's like the type of room that doesn't exactly foster like murdering, you know? But it was just such a good set, and I was really happy with it. I noticed that the crowd really liked smart jokes, because I have the beginning of my act is a little bit silly, and then I go into observational stuff about like school, right? And that stuff was like killing. I was like, whoa. So it was almost like I read the crowd in that moment. I was like, oh, okay. They want smart jokes. Or maybe they just took a little while to warm up. But to me, I read that as, oh, they want the smart jokes. So when that started happening, then I was locked in. Started having some really good crowd interactions. There was one that was really weird and confusing. This table in the front of like two couples. Like I asked what like the guy's job is, and he said his job, and then his wife was like, huh? You do that? And it was just like, what? His wife of 7 years was like, what do you mean that's your job? And I was just like, yo, don't be like this. Don't be confusing. Don't make things up. And it's like, I don't have time to investigate what's happening here. I don't have time to investigate, why she doesn't know? What's your actual job? Are you lying to me? Are you trying to just be funny? I was like, dude, I just wanted to bail on that interaction because I was like, you guys are weird. I'm like, don't be silly. Just give me the facts. I will be the silly one. I'm the clown boy. You be the fact spitter. I will take the facts and do my fucking silly boy dance with it. Okay? That's all. Give me the facts. I'm a detective. Turns out these dudes were like firefighters, which they didn't say. And I'm glad they didn't, because I'm not going to ask them any details about being a firefighter after fucking Rhode Island. That's for sure. Never doing that again. I've had 2 interactions with firefighters, or about firefighters. One was unbelievably funny and one of the most successful clips I've ever had. And number 2 ruined the show. So I'm batting 500 and I'm done. Chipper Jones, batting 500. I'm retiring from the league. I know that 3 people know who Chipper Jones is. And I know one of them is my best friend Luke, who's probably listening right now. Shout out him. Dude, and also this table in the front who was like making shit up. They were like, kept chiming in and chatting and stuff. And for some reason, and look, I'm a very nice guy, okay? You guys know me. A lot of you guys have met me. I'm a nice guy. But sometimes with crowd people, when they're being rude, I lose my temper. And I get really annoyed at them. And sometimes I don't handle myself very well, and I kill the momentum of the room, and I got to win everyone back. I can't believe I let them talk as long as I did. It took me until 45 minutes until I was like, hey, shut up. It took me that long. I can't believe I let them talk for that long. And what really happened was that so I don't want to give anything away, but I end my set with a callback, okay? If you've seen me on this tour, you know what the callback is. And like at 5 minutes before I did my closer, they were yelling out the callback line to be like funny, thinking that they're funny. Again, don't be funny. My job. Do facts. And when they were yelling it, I knew that they were going to mess up my closer, so I literally started going, stop. No, stop, shut up. I'm not exaggerating that much. That's about what I did. I was like, stop, shut up, enough. Stop yelling at me. And so I did that, got weird, did my next few jokes, did my closer. It did great. And then I said, thank you, good night. And I did my little post-show spiel about the thanks for coming. Here we're doing the meet and greet. And then I, no joke, this is exactly what I said to them. I said, hey, just a heads up, here's why I yelled at you, is because you guys were yelling out the callback and you were going to ruin it. That's why I yelled at you to stop talking, just so we're clear. I said that in front of the whole room because I didn't want people to think I was just this maniac all of a sudden where I was like, shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. It's like, dude, I'm not exaggerating. That's what it was like. And so I needed them to know why I just turned into a lunatic. More so everyone else who was like, yo, why was Will so crazy all of a sudden? So I literally did an onstage apology for yelling at someone to clear my conscience. It's so weird. My buddies didn't even know. Dude, Nolan and Anthony, they didn't even know I did that. I told them after. They were like, what? You did that? I was like, yeah. I don't know. Fun night, man. If you were there, thank you. I really appreciate you coming. It was so fun, dude. And then you know what my version of partying is now? I get high and I order a dozen donuts and I eat about 3.5 of them. That's my going out partying now. Binge drinking? Nope. Binge donuts. Okay. Arguably better for you. What's better for you? Whiskey and beer or maple bar and custard filled? Pause. Probably donuts. Anyways, great show. And then for the rest of the week, do you know what I've been working on? Is I think I talked about this last a couple episodes ago, but so I have the set that I'm touring with is essentially that's going to be like my special. It's this like 35 minutes of material that I love and I'm excited about, and that to me is the first special. And so what I've been doing is that when I'm in town, it's like I don't want to do that material because it's like I know it works. I don't want to get sick of it. So what I really want to do is I've started to work on the next one. So I have this other kind of chunk of material. It's probably about 20, 25 minutes, probably more like 20 minutes. And that's what I've been working on. I spent a couple days organizing it to try to figure out what can flow together, what bits can go where, transitions, how to get where, and started working on this material and adding tags to it, which again, if you're new here, a tag is basically you get the punchline and then boom, another laugh. You go big laugh and then another laugh. Adding things to these jokes, changing up the timing, changing up the rhythm. And it's been completely like reinvigorating, especially because it's been working so well. Like I will do, let's say a 15-minute set. I'm not doing any jokes I do on the road. And so it's reinvigorating not only creatively, but also just it's fun because I don't do these jokes a lot. And so now I get to be like, oh yeah, I forget. I thought this was funny at some point. This is still funny to me. And it's like making your friends laugh with something. And it's the same type of feeling where I'm like, oh, I'm not this robot doing the joke I've been doing for 5 years. I'm like, oh no, these are these fun ideas that I haven't told in a long time. It's really fun. And I'm really enjoying the process creatively of just piecing together this next set. And it's basically comes down to me not procrastinating, because there's totally a world where I just do the same set, film it, put it out, and then I just have to start over and come up with this whole new act, right? But I want to be ready. Meaning when I put that special out and I burn the material, I want to be like, oh, here's the next 30 minutes or whatever, and it's ready to go. You could put me on the road tomorrow and I got it. I'm ready. I've never been a procrastinator. Like in school, in work, I always get my shit done ahead of time. Editing clips, I'm already working on, I'm already halfway done with Tuesday's clip, because I hate the feeling of being like, cramming for the last second. I hate that. So it's been really fun. Had a really cool night on Sunday. I did 3 shows. The first show I did was in front of, this is LA comedy in a nutshell. The first show I did was in front of 6 comedians and 1 audience member. Then I went to another club and did a bringer show, which basically is a bunch of new comedians who bring their friends out, and there's like 1 headliner, and I was the headliner, so it's this packed room, and it was electric. Did that, and then I went right to Hollywood and did a spot in the Netflix as a joke fest. Not my show, but just another random show where I did a 10-minute spot, and it was so fun. I did very, very, very well. like very casually too. I was just like, yep, this is a 10-minute set. Yeah, this should work. And people were like loving it. And I was like, all right, cool. See ya. Such a good feeling. I've grown a lot as a comedian, and it's just really cool to be able to like have that type of a set of like, here's my best 10 minutes and feel like really good about it. That's taken a long time to get to. So that's LA comedy for you. Before we start wrapping up here, I want to say, so here's a big update in our lives, dude. So long story short, Kaylee and I are fostering a dog. And fostering essentially, I mean, it's basically going to be adopting. It's what's called it's a forever foster. What basically means is that we give an older dog like a home, and an organization who sponsors him takes care of the medical costs for the rest of his life. So that's what we did. I'll back up. Obviously, there was the one episode where I talked about us losing our dog Snail, which was really, really tough. And, Kaylee knows that she wanted to get another dog, as did I, because I missed having a dog around, and I missed, having something to give that type of love to. And so I can't remember if I talked about this on the pod or not, but we started to go to a couple of shelters just to see what's going on and see what's out there, and which is dangerous, because it's like if you get attached to a dog, you're like, you shouldn't go to a shelter unless you're ready to adopt a dog, right? And I tell you what, man, I don't remember last time I was so emotionally affected by an experience. Seeing these dogs in a shelter in just like a concrete floor with a little cot, like basically prison, it really upset me. Like really made me sad, and it stuck with me for just days. I couldn't stop thinking about these dogs because they all look so sad and they all are so sweet. Most of them are big dogs because people have a hard time housing big dogs. Small dogs are easy to have in an apartment, but a big like German Shepherd, big Husky, it's like they just have such a hard time finding homes. And so this experience was like really like shaped me a little bit. I was like, man, it made me really want to do something about it. And I haven't been as good about like standing up for causes and volunteering, and I donate every Christmas. I have a couple organizations that I donate to every year, but other than that, it's like I don't do enough to help out. And so this was something that really affected me. So I was like, okay, let's do something about this. And so there was this one dog that I really liked there. Her name was Lucy, and we were like, she really stuck with me, and I was like, let's go meet her. And she actually had a bite history. She was, dude, crazy story. Her owner got arrested, and that's why she's in a shelter. Owner got arrested, and the dog, she bit the cop. And so what sucks is that a dog with a bite history, it's like super low chances of getting adopted. And so I said that, and I was like, well, maybe we can be the ones to help this dog, because, again, a dog with a bite history is like, people don't want that. And also shout out to Lucy for protecting the owner. If a cop fucking bursts down your door and the dog like protects you, it's like bite history, but shout out to protecting me, right? So we went to meet the dog, and unfortunately it was just like not a good fit. They let us basically into this like little yard section, and it's like these shelter dogs, dude. They're really not in the best shape, like mentally. It's like you let them go and they're just going crazy running around. They have this crazy energy because they're so anxious and stressed from being in a fucking cage that, it was so hard to be able to actually connect with these dogs, because it's like, dude, they're not in a place to even connect to you. They're so fucking stressed. And so we met Lucy, and it was just, she barely even like interacted with us. She was just running around, and she would kind of jump at us a few times and be like, hey, but it sucks, man, because the bite history, we were like kind of scared, because once a dog has bitten someone, that's a possibility. And we were like, fuck, like we can't have a dog and be like scared of the dog. It's just that's just not gonna work for us. So there's another dog that we liked. Her name was Muneka, but she was like bad with other dogs. She like kind of fucked up a dog in there that was her cellmate. And so it's like, all right, well, can't get that dog. And so we're trying to figure out what to do, and just kind of, again, thinking about how to help out. And so we stumble upon this video in the shelter page. Shout out to North Central Shelter. That's what the name of the shelter is. They post videos of dogs, basically like, hey, come adopt this dog. And they posted this one dog. And Kaylee sent me the video of him. And I'm going to put the video up here so you guys can see the video. So the video is probably playing right now, and I'm just going to narrate over the video. So she sent me this video, and I saw him and was like, man, like, we need to help this guy out. He is just this old man. He looks so sweet. He looks just like, and I think I've always had a soft spot for senior dogs because it's like, dude, they're so wise. They're so sweet. He doesn't have a lot of time left. We should just give him a home, And so she sent me this video, and I immediately went into action. I was like, comments on the video. I was like, yup, we want to foster him. What's up? Like, purely acting on emotions. I was not really thinking about the logistics of it. I was just like, yup, feeling really sad. Let's go. And sure enough, a couple days later, we went and saw him. And it was such a different experience. His name's Oso, which means bear in Spanish. Some of you are like, no shit, but I took Spanish in high school. Don't remember anything. So we met him, and it was just that he was just really affectionate. He was very sweet. He laid on his belly, gave us, we gave him scratches, and it was such a different experience. So we were like, I think we're gonna maybe do this, and it was a long process of getting the sponsorship from the rescue organization and setting everything up, and sure enough, we fucking did it. And he'll have been with us for about a week now. And it's been fantastic. He has been such a delight. And I mean, we really lucked out because when you get a shelter dog, man, you don't know what is going to happen. You don't know how he's going to behave. You don't know, from anything from barking to peeing in the house to, who knows, ripping things up. I mean, he's an older dog, so probably not. But again, you really don't know. And to be completely honest, there was times where it was like the first night he didn't sleep super well. He slept from like 1 to 5. It was up from like 5:30 to 6 and then back to sleep. And during that like 5 a.m. period the first night, I was like, it was, part of me was like, did we make a mistake? Is this how this is going to be? It was that like Arrested Development meme of like, I've made a huge mistake. It was, but ever since then, again, I was operating very like emotionally, not really thinking about the logistics of how this is actually going to be. I mean, I knew what it was going to be like, but I didn't really, when he was there, I was like, oh shit, this is like so real. But dude, he like goes outside, he sleeps all day, he doesn't bark. He is so sweet. We already feel really close to him. He's really bad on a leash, dude. He that's the only thing. He gets really nervous when you put a leash on him and you start to walk him around a little bit. He like can't even. He pulls on the leash. He starts like whining. He gets really freaked out. So we've barely taken him on any walks. We kind of just walk him around like an enclosed area in Kaylee's apartment complex. So that's the next journey, is trying to figure out how to take him on walks. But for now, it's just we're so happy that he's at least just out of the shelter. Even if he spends the majority of his days just in the apartment, at least it's just he's not in a shelter. He has a quiet, safe, cozy space with food and water and lots of love and pets. So we really are excited about it. And I want to talk about it on the pod because this is not just about comedy, man. This is about me and my life. So this is a big update in my life. And I haven't really posted about it much on Instagram just because it's I don't know. This is kind of just for us right now. So anyways, that's our new boy. Shout out to Oso, our 11-year-old boy. And so, and shout out to Kaylee. She's been doing an unbelievable job of taking care of him with me. She is such a fucking rock star. I'm so grateful to have her on this journey, man. She is just like a 10 out of 10. Couldn't ask for a better partner in this. She's just going to be such a good mom one day. It's no joke. So, anyways, dude, that's the pod. Please come see me on tour. I'll be sad if you don't. Portland, Seattle, Brea, San Antonio, Austin, and then also like Dallas, Chicago, DC. Dude, San Diego, so many fun shows coming up. I'm so excited about them. Thank you for listening to the podcast and watching the podcast. Please subscribe. Tell your friends if you think they're going to like the podcast. Tell them, bro. Spread the word, man. We're an indie group, but I want to get a little bigger, Appreciate you guys. Have a good rest of the week, and I'll see you later.